am I? That's not a secret I'll never tell. You know you love me. XOXO.
Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia the Trees. Today we're getting into a mystery pile for Mother's Day, a Mother's Day edition. And this is special because I chose for overhead selection Divas Can Manifest, to represent Divas Can Manifest motifs. And if you do not know me and why we are gathered here today, my name is Felicia. I am the founder of Divas Can Manifest and Felicia the Trees Tarot. I am a civil and human rights advocate, and I run a nonprofit in women's health called Divas Can Manifest. Divas Can Manifest raises awareness to a public health issue for women and children at risk. Our focus involves the art of preventing disease, protecting life, and promoting health. Our organized efforts inform the choices of society as it relates to the control of infectious disease, environmental hazards, mental health, vaccinations, managing health emergencies, occupational health, nutritional healing, screenings, safety, self-defense, and so much more as it relates to women and children. So that's why I just want to wish a special Mother's Day to all the women and children at Divas Can Manifest. We love you. Thank you for being here. And we're going to get into a special mystery topic. So your question is on the back of these plaques. And choose from the overhead selection. Pile 1, you are the bow. Pile 2, you are the flower. Pile 3, you are the cheetah. And pile 4, you are the lipstick and kiss. Let's get into it. In advance, I want to thank you guys so much for giving back to the channel, watching all of the ads on the channel, all of the fun to go back, all of the proceeds to this channel, as well as our spiritual beauty shop, Cosmic Intelligence, go back to our nonprofit in women's health. And just to say, extend a special thank you to all of the mother and children at Felicia the Trees Tarot. Go ahead and take 15% off everything at Cosmic Intelligence for the next 72 hours, the next 3 days. If you're wanting to treat yourself, get yourself a late Mother's Day gift or a late gift, you know, for being a child of God, LOL. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys being here. Check the description box down below for all of the, the full description about our organization, all of what I do, more ways to get in touch, book personal readings, download our Crown Chakra playlist, sign up for our newsletter, which also involves a freebie. So if you have not heard, we have actually just written our first book. It is the best our first ebook. It is the best feminine hygiene guide that you will find, I promise, okay? And feminine hygiene plays a huge role in promoting and maintaining our health. So go ahead and click the link down below to sign up for the Divas Can Manifest newsletter, and click on the button that helps you download, that allows you to download the freebie guide, and also watch the long form discussion over on my lifestyle channel. And stay healthy, stay strong, and I will see y'all in your selection. Bye. Hi pile 1, welcome to your selection. So you chose the bow, okay? Now this definitely is one of my favorite Divas Can Manifest motifs, as it is our badge for the winner circle. So if you would like to become a member to Felicia the Trees Tarot, get exclusive pick a cards, get Beyonce tarot, and also monthly zodiacs. So I would definitely love to see you there, and of course all the proceeds go back to our nonprofit. But let's get into your question. Okay, we have, what legacy am I creating with my relationships as a nurturing mentor or a compassionate caretaker? So what legacy are you creating with your relationships? Okay, so we're going to pull each pile is going to have a slightly different spread, so let's get into it. What legacy are you creating with your relationships as a nurturing mentor and compassionate caretaker. Okay, so let's see. We have action. Okay, and we're going to get this one from the book just because I think that they write so beautifully in this book. Jean-Paul Sartre. There is no reality except in action. Give your life meaning. Your destiny lies in your own hands. There is no authentic or true self waiting to be discovered or expressed. No divine creator or inner essence that gives your life meaning. The only truths are the ones that you create through your actions. Sartre does not ask you to dig deep and discover who you are. He asks you to create the life that you want. Your life is a product of your choices and actions and nothing more. You are fully responsible for how your life turns out. If your life is not going as you want it to, then change it. Your life is a work in progress. It is never determined once and for all. Don't get stuck in an unhappy life that you think is not of your choosing. This is bad faith, and there is no one to blame for how your life turns out but yourself. You are always free to choose and live differently. Even making no choice is to choose to keep things as they are, or to have others make choices for you. There is no escaping choice. This is why Sartre says freedom is a burden, even writing ironically that we are condemned to be free. Make choices that give your life meaning and purpose. This is Sartre's message to you. This is beautiful. As this, the question is, what legacy am I creating in my relationships as a nurturing mentor, compassionate caretaker? You definitely are creating the legacy of freedom in your family. I'm hearing a tradition of freedom. Some of you guys, especially if you're members of the Winner Circle, you are creating and on the path to financial freedom. You guys have been the nurturing mentor and compassionate caretaker in your families and in your relationships that are important. Your family, you're creating a tradition of freedom. You're creating a tradition of generational wealth. You are creating a reality where you're very conscious of your choice. As a nurturing mentor, you are refining the character in your relationships. You are to be at liberty, to be sovereign, to be the person who is responsible for their own well-being in their life. You're teaching your friend, as a nurturing mentor and a compassionate caretaker, with unconditional love, you are refining people's character and teaching people. I'm getting that you are teaching people how to take care of themselves. For one, you're teaching people how to take actions to liberate them from their own inaction. Okay? That's actually very beautiful. Okay? So it's kind of like you through, like, especially as a caretaker and nurturing provider, it feels like you are in charge of making a lot of choices in your family and your relationships. But you're also showing these people that, like, while you are the authority, while you are the one that is upholding the traditions and carrying out the legacy, you're still asking these people to dig deep. You're asking these people to discover who you really are, right? Your role as a nurturing caretaker and your role as a nurturing mentor and compassionate caretaker involves you helping people discover their authentic selves, helping them learn their fullest expression of themselves, to be who they really are. It kind of feels like, especially like if you guys are really focused on building financial freedom, it's not just about the financial freedom. You're teaching people how to liberate their minds. I'm hearing that song Free Minds by Tim's. You're teaching people that this conformity, this poor decision making is a result of their bad faith. that it's a product of the choices and actions that you take and nothing more, right? You're showing people in your relationships where they have been stuck and unhappy, right? Where they have been blaming other people for how their life has turned out. You're teaching people how to make choices that give their life meaning and purpose. That is very beautiful, okay? So there will be no more unintentional living, okay? There will be upholding of traditions. There will be a true family. There will be true wealth. There will be true self-expression, right? You're giving your family and your relationships an identity. Putting your family on the map is what I'm hearing, okay? So let's get into it. So, you know, what legacy are you creating with your relationships as a nurturing mentor and compassionate caregiver? So let's see, Power One. Let love enter. Oh my God, New Age. Alchemy. And heaven on earth. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys. So this is really beautiful. So I definitely feel like the legacy that you're creating is evolving with this new age, 86. Your relationships, you have been nurturing and compassionately evolving your relationships, evolving your kin, your tribe to freedom. When I think about alchemy, I think about literally the transmutation process. There has been a new age. This old version of you was not aware of base motivations. I'm getting that through your alchemy, you have been establishing your family's legacy, of course. You have been establishing heaven on earth. You have been, I'm hearing something about you guys have been getting your dream partner, okay? I'm hearing something where you have also evolved beyond third-party dynamics as well. Something about your previous relationships, they were very, I don't know, something about your previous relationships were very, it was like they were very predictable. It's some type of conventional thing that you have evolved beyond. And a third-party dynamic, I'm getting particularly a lot of you guys, a third-party dynamic is very conventional. It's very, it's like, it's so predictable that someone is going to have another option. It's so predictable that they're not going to know what they want. It's so predictable that they can't make a decision between you and somebody else, right? But really what this represents is like them not letting love enter. These people, you know, if someone puts you in a third-party relationship, it means that they really did not love you. It means that they really, you know, they really could not make a sure and decisive decision around you. You have, like, the legacy that you're creating is you are manifesting and attracting free and liberated minds, which means your partner is also going to be free and liberated. You're not going to be put in a third-party situation with someone because they're going to be very sure about you. Okay, they're going to see you as their heaven on earth. And I feel like you guys have been maybe even coming from a lot of relationships where you have maybe been in a lot of third parties, but you're starting to evolve and diversify yourself. So it kind of feels like, you know, especially since this is a Mother's Day read, some of you guys, there's another topic in this mystery. I can't remember what pile it is, but I definitely feel like there may be some type of even ancestral patterning where there may have been like a history of failed relationships, or relationships where traditions and legacies have not been able to be upheld because there has been some lack of freedom. There has been some lack of good decision making. You have been learning to remember your power of choice. You are learning not to settle for third-party relationships. You're not learning not to settle for people who are not fully committed, people who are in and out, people who make you feel, unsettled or tumultuous in some type of way. You are creating, through your nurturing mentorship and compassionate caretaking, you are creating a legacy of heaven on earth. You are creating a paradise where there is actual love, right? Somebody who is tumultuous in and out, who doesn't prioritize their family, who doesn't make a sure decision, right? Their actions do not reflect your values. You are moving and evolving beyond that. This is the process of you developing and diversifying from this simple 10 to a more complex love. Your relationship, especially if this is about romantic love, your relationship is complex. It is going to serve many different functions in one another's life. This is what a true family, a true legacy is. This person will be a mother, a father. This person will be a friend, a foe. This person will be a mentor. This person will be a student. This person will be a brother, their sister. This person will be your everything. And you are transforming so much and into a complex love, into a true love. And you're learning that romantic love is one of the most complex love that we can have. And you're learning how to make more informed choices about your love life. And this is leading to leading to financial freedom, is leading to legacies and traditions being upheld, is leading to happiness. Okay, so let's keep going. What kind of legacy are you creating through your nurturing mentorship and compassionate care taking? We have a letter. We have a woman. Okay, some of you guys, this is a woman. Okay, we have change, especially if you are hetero and you are considering a woman. Okay, some of you guys, I'm hearing that you are I'm hearing authors, families of writers, acceptance letters, high academia. Some of you guys will be going to the same alma mater as your lover. They want you to uphold the tradition of going to their same prestigious university. Okay, I know you wanted to go to another school. Some of y'all want to go to another school, but they want you to go to their school. LOL. So some of you guys are manifesting recommendation letters. Okay, and just like high achievement. Okay, so what kind of legacy? Okay, daring and courageous. Okay, I think that this has been the whole thing, right? I think that the reason why your relationships haven't been liberated, or you've come across a lot of relationships where people clearly don't have a life that they love, and they settle for these mediocre relationships. They settle for third parties. They settle for open relationships. They settle for things that they truly don't want, right? But you've had the courage to leave a lot of people behind. You've had the courage to chase your dreams. You had the courage to evolve. All of these decisions that you've been making, with Jean-Paul Sartre, has taken a lot of courage. You've been very daring, and you are the guy. You are, your actions are like a ripple effect. You're having such an impact. It's like you're carrying a lot of people on your back. So this is beautiful. Okay, but I'm also getting a lot of people are getting the axe as you evolve into this new age. You're leaving all these third parties that you transformed, all of these duplicitous relationships that you transformed. You are literally, this is the change. This is the evolution. Some of you guys are becoming a woman. People, you've moved from your immature state to your mature state. And I'm hearing you done bossed up a lot, okay? and you're ready for this love. You're ready for heaven on earth. I'm hearing your hygiene routine is ready. You're ready for your next encounter. You're ready for the love of your life. And you've had to take a lot of courageous and daring actions to create this life that you love so that you can have space, right, for somebody else to love you. This is you letting love enter. This is you as the nurturing mentor and the compassionate caretaker. Okay? Caring for yourself first and then receiving that from others, right? We have the Nine of Cups, right? All of these people who, I'm hearing a lot of people, these King of Pentacles in the reverse, you were dealing with a lot of you're dealing with a lot of unsuccessful businessmen and women, okay? These people, they're not having wish fulfillments. Like I said, they're literally settling in their lives, okay? These people, they do not have wish fulfillment. They do not have success. They settle. They do not take actions and choices. And it takes courage to have this evolution. It takes courage to have this love. It takes courage to have this success. You're dealing with a lot of people. I'm hearing that you were shocked when you found the truth out about these people. You were not expecting them to be duplicitous. You were not expecting them to be selfish and entitled. You were not expecting them to have excessive feelings and no restraint. These people, they left you, I'm getting that they've left you feeling, filled with criticism and doubt. But you were courageous enough to continue to change. And now you are blossoming into this beautiful woman. You guys are writing so much. I'm hearing a lot of poetry inspired by all these people who were not as good as you thought they were. You thought that it was love, but then it was okay, that was actually not my wish fulfillment. The reality was left grim. The reality was, left you making big changes. You were shocked, but you were so happy to give these people the axe because you realized that they were not your heaven on earth. They were not your paradise. And you alchemize yourself and change, especially over this Pisces and this Scorpio. You were able to, I'm hearing something about you. You adapted and changed, and you were daring and courageous to make these changes after realizing that these entitled people and duplicitous people who were not as good as you were disillusioned by a lot of these people, right? But you're learning, right? And you staying liberated, and you staying sovereign to make your own decisions and not letting these people fill you with criticism and doubt after so many failed conventional relationships where their behavior was predictable. Their behavior was egoic. Their behavior, they were in a power struggle with you. They put you in a third party. It was just so many different relationships that you've changed and moved around. Is actually evolving your kin. It's evolving your family. It's evolving your home, right? Now, while these were shocking truths, you evolved. And with every goodbye, you learned. I love that so much, Power One. Let me know how this resonates down below. It's a different kind of read, so I'm glad you guys are bearing with me. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Happy Mother's Day to all the women and children, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, Pal 2. Welcome to your selection. So you chose the pink flower emoji. Okay, period. How can I heal my relationship with my mother? Okay, so for this one, we're actually going to pull from the Peaceful Relations deck. Where is it? I literally just pulled it out. So from the Peaceful Relations. So we'll try to, some romantic messages are in here. So if we pull any of the romantic relationship, well, I'll try to read it as objective as I possibly can if we pull any romantic themes in here, okay? So how can you heal your relationship with your mother, okay? Because I know that a lot of people in the collective, you've had a struggle, with some type of family violence is what I'm hearing. There's been some type of family violence, in the family, driven by a karmic partner that was in a parental in a parental status is what I'm hearing. A parent that was I'm hearing a karmic partner that may have been a father, who may have been a step parent, okay, or could have been biological, but either way, this person was very karmic, okay? And there was a lot of family violence around this person, and they were just a very, I don't know, it feels like it was a very big challenge and, created a lot of issues within the family, okay? So let's get into it. reconciliation. Some of y'all, LOL, y'all be like, my mom's a narcissist. Well, there looks like there's a reconciliation where you guys will be rebuilding, you know, a relationship that has experienced conflict, hurt, breakdown in the trust. Okay, it involves addressing the issue that caused the rift, fostering open communication, working towards restoring mutual understanding, respect, and harmony. Okay, so I love that. So some of you guys are working on a reconciliation with a mother, okay, because of a conflict that may be driven by family violence or a karmic partner that your mother had. Okay, so we have wrong assumptions, and then we have rejection, and let's get one more. Okay, we have regression. Okay, there's definitely been definitely been a situation where someone's abusive behavior to control or harm another member of the family has been the root of all evil, has been the reason for a breakdown in trust, has been the reason for a conflict. You guys have been trying to repair this harm that was done, okay? This may have even involved an intimate partner where your mother was rejected, okay? And this may have, you know, this may have caused a lot of issues. Or something like that, okay? Something just came to me. Okay, so I'm getting that there was a issue, okay, where you and your mother is going, you're actually having a reconciliation, because this situation broke down the trust, because some of you guys, you had a very big, you experienced a trauma, okay? Some of you guys, you know, experienced a rejection that was a very traumatizing experience. And some of you guys, your mother was not the only relationship that broke down, but you also, I'm hearing that a lot of relationships broke down. I'm hearing that this conflict and hurt, where you were rejected because of somebody's wrong assumptions, actually like made you feel very threatened. It made you feel very anxious. Some of you guys unconsciously escape to an earlier stage of your development, where like maybe something, you know, that happened when you were a young child, you know, it could have been a rejection that happened when you were a young child, or a coping mechanism or defense mechanism that you used when you were a child. Okay, something where you started to do something, you know, childish. I don't know if I don't want to offend you by saying childish, but it quite literally could have been something that you've been doing that is like associated, like something that you broke down. Something broke down, and you've been trying to rebuild yourself after regressing to this earlier state of being. It kind of feels like this rejection was so intense that it caused a conflict in your life, a big conflict, and it may have made you make a lot of wrong assumptions about everybody involved, right? Some of you guys were dealing with this conflict and this very traumatic experience in your adulthood, and your ego was just trying to like protect itself from this harmful situation, where you were acting out of a defense mechanism and hurting. I'm hearing saying harmful things, doing harmful things, and a lot of your relationships breaking down. But I'm getting that, you know, since you have been rebuilding yourself and your relationships from this, you know, this trauma, I'm getting that for some of you guys, this regression, you know, your healing journey is non-linear. But I feel like this may have been an even bigger regression that you were not prepared for. Like I said, some of you guys, this was unconscious. This hurt was, something about it was covert, or it was concealed in some type of way, or this, like, I'm hearing that this rejection was unconscious. Maybe this person never outwardly rejected you, or there was a lack of closure around this, and this caused you to feel like this covert behavior, you know, where somebody made a lot of wrong assumptions about you and didn't, like, I'm hearing they didn't listen to you, didn't communicate with you, maybe they even ghosted you. And something, you know, they unconsciously, something about this was like, it was unconscious or subconscious, this person's rejection, where they were not like, they didn't like address it directly, and it left a lot of mystery. It left you without closure. Some of you guys started to quite literally feel threatened and anxious, and this was like a representation, I don't know, something about this rejection dynamic, or this conflict that you had with a romantic partner or intimate partner was like it was kind of like, I don't want to say it was a similar to your childhood developmental trauma around family violence, but it could simply be that it was like, it was resonant of a lack of resolving these childhood issues, right? Where you've been like, you haven't been fully resolved around these childhood issues, and you have been using a lot of like defense mechanisms to kind of ameliorate your lack of development, your lack of like, you haven't really fully been aware. You haven't been fully healed. Some of you guys were just pushing through life and not fully resolving these childhood developmental issues. I'm getting it. Some of you guys, you have pulled yourself up by the bootstraps. Some of you guys have been carrying the burden of the ancestors, and you have not, especially if you come from a family violence, your ways of experiencing and dealing with conflict has been extremely dysfunctional. So this regression or breakdown in a relationship and a trust with your mother, it was just kind of like, it was bound to happen. Okay, it was bound to happen because of something, this defense, you know, mechanism that has been causing you to avoid your everyday activities and causing you to avoid, some of you guys, it was like you were not fully processing the rejection, or you were just coping. I'm hearing something about you started to take up like a lot of comfort foods. Maybe you did experience some type of you unconsciously escaped to some disordered eating, wetting the bed, thumb sucking, sleeping with a stuffed animal. Some of you guys quite literally regressed and maybe blamed your mother, or, you know, had a whole breakdown in like your entire life. Unfortunately, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, so let's see, you know, how can you, you know, repair the relationship with your mother? Okay, you know, this family violence and, you know, this karmic partner, maybe this was you with the karmic partner, or you had a parental figure that was a karmic partner, and this conflict was so, you know, it broke down the family so bad. You know, their impact on the family was so bad, and it showed like your mom's inability to handle, you know, rejection as well, or, you know, it was like this conflict. It's kind of like, I hate to say this, but I've actually seen a lot of this in my clients who've been dealing with karmic partners, especially people who have been in long-term relationships with a serial cheater, abusive father, or like, you know, some type of situation where it's clearly not a functioning relationship. Somebody who was away from the relationship a lot, a parent that was abusive or absent. These are really subtle signs of rejection. Someone's non-cooperation, someone's lack of, like, you know, this person's breaking the trust, this person's serial cheating. These are all rejections, right? This is not like, and it's like something that is unconscious. It's something where you're like, you have this conflict with an intimate partner, right? But what this really shows you is that that partner is not accepting you. That partner is not unconditionally loving of you. There's a rift. There's not any communication. There isn't, you know, there's a power struggle. These are all signs of rejection, okay? And it is like, you're like, I'm hearing, especially if you had a parent who were in a constant conflict or fighting, it was just like, it was hard for these, like, this rejection, okay? This was like, it was unconscious that this person was dismissing or refusing a proposal, that this person was dismissing the cooperation of the partnership and the relationship, that this person was not like receptive. Okay, especially if you had a drug addict as a parent, somebody who they didn't have any authority over their inner spirit. I'm getting especially this. And I feel like your family has been in rehabilitation from this karmic partner who was so, I'm hearing somebody's name is Kenneth, or they go by Ken. it's like this person who was like a serial cheater or addict, they had such a negative stain. They caused like such a negative stain on the family because there was this conflict of rejection. This is actually like a fight that they have been in because this person has really been dismissing and has been not like dismissing, refusing, and not actually like proposing. That, it's like, it's hard to say this. It's hard to like swallow the hard pill of rejection, right? Because it's like your ego wants it to be like, oh, it's something about how I look, or I'm not good enough for them, right? This is not, it doesn't have to be about how you look. We all know at the end of the day, a true love, a conscious love is a reflection of you. What this really is, this rejection, this karmic partner, this person is not a reflection of you, okay? Some of you guys, this may have been your karmic partner that you got rejected, from, or this could be your mother's karmic partner, or this is like a similar, conflicts that you're finally addressing these issues that happen in the family, okay? So I definitely feel like this relationship with your mother has, I'm sorry if that's all over the place, but I'm hoping that I'm covering a lot of different bases. But it feels like this relationship that you've had with your mother has experienced a trauma. And this is repairing, your family's in rehabilitation. You are rebuilding your relationship after this conflict or hurt. At the end of the day, oh my God, I'm getting so emotional. At the end of the day, this karmic partner woke up and decided that they didn't want to, that they wanted to refuse, that they wanted to reject, that they wanted to dismiss the proposal, right? Especially some of you guys were set to be married. I'm hearing engaged, right? But after this was dismissed, it was such a hard pill to swallow. It was especially like if you guys are your family's in the public eye, okay? I lost my train of thought a little bit, but it feels like there is a situation where this rejection is actually fostering so much open communication between you and your family, because this karmic partner was so disappointing and embarrassing. It was really sad, okay, for everybody, okay? Especially if this is like a masculine, a man who's supposed to be the tribal, the tribal light, okay, of the family unit. They're supposed to be a positive guiding light who's supposed to, be that strong person who establishes and upholds and maintains the family structure. This karmic partner who rejected the family and rejected the proposal caused a lot of breakdown in the family structures, traditions, and legacies. This karmic partner left a lot of they left the family without nothing, is what I'm hearing, okay? And it hurt the family so bad. I'm hearing that this person, I'm also hearing that they were like, some of these like karmic partners were actually disgusting. Like I said, serial cheaters, or they were some type of pervert, okay, pedophile, child molestation is what I'm hearing for some of you guys, drug addicts. These people, some of you guys had a big issue with your mother because of a relationship that they were in with a karmic partner, where you as their child be like, "Well, mom, get the hell, stop, we don't like them, we hate them, blah 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 blah, we're not effing with them," right? But this is your mother's intimate partner, and your mother is also struggling with her own rejection issues. Your mother is also experiencing this hurt, right? So this karmic partner, not only were there, between the two of them, was it breaking down, experiencing conflict, getting hurt, not having open communication, but it was also breaking down and breaking the trust of the mother and child, making you guys feel anxious and threatened, okay? So, I definitely see that this reconciliation, right? That's what I was going before. It's like this karmic partner will get up and leave the family, dismiss the family, refuse the family. But your mother has not left you, right? When Kenneth left, who was there for you? Your mother, your children. Some of you guys made a lot of wrong assumptions about this conflict that, your mother or you have been in with a karmic partner, okay? And it has been a lot of issues around this. And you guys have been fostering a lot of open communication as you heal, okay? So, yeah, martyrer. Some of you guys, as the child, you have had to reparent yourself, and then you've had to kind of like nurture your mother's inner child as well, because it feels like you have learned the transcendent nature of this traumatic experience. When you regressed I'm so sorry, y'all. When you regressed after getting traumatized by this karmic partner, a rejection, or, some type of family violence, transcended the nature of this cause for your family. You have had, like I said, you guys have been buried, you've been carrying the burden. But this conflict and this, I'm hearing some of you guys even took a public fall from grace, a public humiliation, lost securities, lost wealth, right? It was embarrassing and made you feel threatened and anxious, but nobody saw this. A lot of people saw you in the public eye, and they saw you remain the it girl. They saw you, they saw you remain, right, calm, cool, and collected. People didn't even see you break a sweat, right? Especially for some of you guys are influencers, and you had like some type of couple social media page or some type of public, relationship. When this situation broke down, it was like a public regression. It's like people saw you, they saw your family break down. They were like, oh, their family was not as strong as we thought that it was, right? But people really didn't see you break that much of a sweat. Somebody's name here starts with the letter D, right? You were dealing with this rejection, and it was so humiliating and embarrassing, right? But you were martyred, right? So that your family can heal from these karmic partners, whether that was a karmic partner that was in a family, that was in a parental figure, or your own karmic partner, where you built a lot of securities and wealth around this person. You have learned transcendence about this, and this has opened up so much beautiful communication with you and your mother. So don't ever think that anything was in vain, okay? You guys are healing this breakdown, okay? Oh my goodness. Pile 2. How can you heal your relationship with your mother? We have act now. Deep perspective. Yes, something about you guys, in order to really heal this mother issue that you've been having, you transcended something and got a very deep perspective around this. And this has been the process of you rebuilding and repairing. This hurt and conflict gave you a deep perspective. This regression gave you a deep perspective. Some of you guys, you were like, people always saw you as like, your mother sacrificed for you to get more, right? Your mother sacrificed for your freedom. Your mother sacrificed. They saw you as pushing the family forward. You were like the family member that made it possible for everybody else. But when this relationship broke down, when you were rejected, ultimately, it was like you needed to take those steps back so you can understand where you misstepped, where you were in this unconscious defense mechanism, where you were experiencing that childhood trauma, how you were reenacting that family violence in this relationship. Okay? Very beautiful. Some of you guys would benefit from wearing a piece of jade to attract some money. Some of you guys are you're rebuilding these, your success and fortune. What? You and your mother together? Success and fortune. Some of you guys had to do a lot of this work on your own because you were the martyrer. Your mother may have been there supporting you, but some of you guys, you had to learn that deep perspective on your own. Nobody could teach you this. Nobody could teach you this. Your mother couldn't teach you this. It's like you are making up for where your mother failed and coming back and rebuilding and repairing, and your family's in rehabilitation. Your success and fortune is protected from this karmic partner, from this rejection, because of this deep perspective that you've got now. Okay, very beautiful, pal, too. Very beautiful. Oh my goodness. So let's do a little tarot and then we will wrap, friends. Okay. How can you heal your relationship with your mother? Okay. Some of you guys, by learning how to be alone, right? You learned so much and got a higher truth. Some of you guys are still lacking closure from this relationship because, this made you feel so anxious. And it made you feel so anxious and insecure and threatened, right? It made you feel like you were a child again, some of you guys. But you're finally getting the higher learning. You're finally getting the truth. Some of you guys have been struggling with, your, insecurity between the mother, okay? You and the mother, right? It's because you have been, you've been the martyr, right? You've been the one learning the transcendent nature, right? You have been rising above, this family chaos and violence and conflict and hurt and what broke down, okay? I mean, you've been a diamond in the rough because nobody could have taught you this, right? You had to grow up and do this on your own. Some of you guys are still lacking closure because you're still dealing with some type of unconscious defense mechanism, okay, around something that is making you feel insecure. Maybe this could be around, learning about this person's third party. But some of you guys, this person has had a lot of third parties. It's not just one person. So don't feel insecure about, like, this person, where they were off. I'm hearing somebody with a bigger butt or someone with lighter skin, someone that you feel maybe prettier than you or some, at the end, like I said, at the end of the day, the rejection has nothing to do with how you look and everything to do with a conflict and a lack of trust and a lack of making informed, healthy and informed decisions and having healthy relationships, okay? Now you have been, with this martyrism, you have learned, this transcended nature by being alone, right? Getting rejected, being alone, not having, a relationship, not having, some of you guys were always known for having that relationship. Somebody's name starts with the letter K or F. You were always known to, like, or A, you were always known to have that person by your side. This was like your, everybody knew that as your person. But when the truth came out about their serial cheating, some of them gave you an STD. The truth came out about their, their disrespect and humiliation of you, right? It made you feel so insecure, right? And then you got, especially if it was a love triangle that you became aware of. Some of you, that love triangle didn't even work out. They off with somebody new now. For others, that person, this karmic partner, they're not doing as good as you. You are the ones that have all the success and fortune, right? Give me more information around the strength and the reverse. Okay, some of you guys are still feeling a lot of insecurity around how the relationship ended and still having some volatile mood swings around this person and this, this thing that happened, right? It was traumatizing. It was not just about, like, some of you guys, this person went off with somebody weaker and less fortunate. They went off with somebody ugly. They went off with somebody who stank. They went off with something, they did something irrational, right? So this is not something that you need to, feel insecure about. The ending of this relationship was traumatic, to say the least. But you transcended this and got a deep perspective. What's stopping the closure? Power 2. Okay, some of you guys, this is like you healing this relationship where you were rejected. It's actually helping you heal your relationship with your mother, helping your mother, helping you guys, like giving you that deep perspective to put your family through this rehabilitation, to build trust within a family again, to open up communication with your family. You after regressing, you restoring your health and returning to optimal health again it shows a cause. And you're letting your family know that this is a mission for your success and fortune. When you had to be by yourself, when you felt like, some of you guys, when you were away from your mother, right? When you hated everybody, you blamed your mother, right? Oh my God, everybody is so stupid, right? My mom never taught me how to deal with rejection issues. My mom never taught me healthy coping mechanisms. My mom has trauma. My mom, had an abusive partner and a, stupid man. And my mom was like, not that great. My mom has all these flaws, right? Hating your mom. Hating your family because of this breakdown and rejection that you were experiencing in your own intimate relationship. But while you're reconciling with your mother, where's this karmic partner who rejected you, right? Some of you guys made a lot of wrong assumptions, you know, around this relationship, and it broke down. Okay, unconsciously you were feeling so threatened and anxious by your family. Some of you guys, because you were, like I said, you were the martyr of the family, you know, you started to internalize a lot of this. You started to feel, you know, unsafe around your family, and you know, especially your, you know, success and fortune. I'm not gonna say that this was your mom. You know, your mom, I definitely can sense that you and your mom are having emotional fulfillment. Your mom loves you. But it was some members of the family who hated to see you as the martyrer. You know, while you've been working so hard to create, you know, and repair your family, and have success and fortune for your family, there's been members of the family who've hated you for, you know, having this. I'm hearing especially a sister. There's been a family member who has hated to, you know, to see it. They hated to see you. Some of you guys, there was, you know, a family member that was a third party, a cousin or a sister. There has been a family member who's been stealing your possessions out of your home, right? You thinking that you having this cool family life, you having all this success and all these big TVs and this nice home, and people have been coming in your home and stealing. All of this, right? You know, you have been struggling with your deep perspective around this family that has been in a conflict, that has been breaking down, and has been, you know, that has been breaking down, that has, you know, experienced a lot of trauma since childhood, you know, of family violence. This is what you've needed to gain a deep perspective. And this is what is, you know, this open communication is how you're healing your relationship with your mother, okay? Your mother sees that you're working on this success and fortune for y'all. Don't be in conflict with your mother, because your mother is also struggling with their own insecurities, their own lack of actualizing, their own, you know, failures and mistakes in life. But this is allowing you guys to resolve the issues that caused the rift, and open up the lines of communication. Okay? I love you so much, Pal 2. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Okay? Happy Mother's Day to all the women and children at Felicia the Trees Tarot from Divas Can Manifest. And we hope that your women and children at risk are repairing and in rehabilitation. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hi, Pal 3. You chose the cheetah head. Okay, so let's see what your mystery topic is. What am I to learn from being a mother? Ooh, what are you to learn from being a mother? Pal 3. Some of you guys may not be mothers already. But if you already are a mother, some of you guys, you know that you have, you know, a lot of lessons around this, okay? So I'm just going to pull, you know, from the Shadow and Light Oracle. What are you to learn from being a mother? I'm hearing, you know, for one, because you picked the cheetah, I feel like for one, you are learning how to be a fierce protection. Something about you, you're not going to play about your cubs. You're not going to play about your children. It's like your fierce protection, okay? Because you know that their spirit is evolving. You're not playing about the children. The children need to, you know, stop saying negative things about the children. Leave the children alone, okay? We have fear and anxiety. I don't know, something about you guys, especially if you're not already parents, okay? I feel like some of you guys, there's a lot of fear and anxieties about being a parent. I don't know what this, I don't know, something about you're struggling to find a partner that you feel that you can trust, or somebody that you know, that you feel that you can trust. Some of you guys are anxious about, you know, about what a child would do to your body. Some of you, I can't. Some of y'all don't want, you know, you scared about what that child is going to tear your body up, okay? Especially if you're dancers and performers. Some of you guys are worried about how, you know, having a child will impact your physical body and your career. But I feel like, you know, motherhood is going to be kind of stressful for you. I don't want to say that it's not going to be beautiful, but I definitely feel like motherhood is going to be stressful, you know, because you're always going to be worried about the state of the children. You're always going to be worried about their evolving spirit, and, you know, just being, you know, doing it right, trying to get it right. Some of you guys will have children at the age of 26, or or age of 36. Okay, or you started having children when you were at the age of 26. Okay. I'm hearing something about you, something about ice cream. You know, you and your children having a lot of ice cream together, or you will have a lot of ice cream. Okay. So let's see. What are you to learn from being a mother? Pal 3. What are you to learn from being a mother? Overcoming adversity. Yeah, I think that kind of was like what I was getting. Find the cure. You know, immediately when I heard find the cure, I feel like some of you guys, because of all of the adversity that you faced, it's like you have had a lot of difficulties and misfortune. And I feel like something about resentment around this. Your adversities and misfortune has made you very resentful. I don't think that it's something that's impacting your psychological and emotional wellness on an everyday basis. Maybe these are even things that are like just energetic disturbances that you still need to release. And this will be the cure. I feel like having a child will be your cure of resentment. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've actually heard a lot of mothers say this. They said they felt like, you know, they didn't experience that like ultimate softening until they had a child. It's like some of you guys have been, you know, you've been struggling with all of this adversity and misfortune and difficulties. You have been struggling with a feeling of bitterness or anger because of things that you have perceived as wrong, insult, or injury. But I feel like having this child is going to help you permanently leave victimhood, because you know that you cannot carry this resentment and this lack of unconditional love into this relationship with your child. Something where you will find, I feel like you will experience true unconditional love with the child. I don't know what this is. This is so beautiful. I'm hearing some of you guys, you're having, you're having a son, or you will have a son, and you will name them the name that starts with the letter A or something like that. And I feel like because of all of your adversities, your misfortune and difficulties, you've been very anxious and feeling threatened and acting from a lot of defense mechanisms, especially you guys are here from if you're here from Pal 2. Some of you guys have been unconsciously acting from these defense mechanisms, and you have, like, even if you seemingly overcome those adversities, even if you seemingly have everything it is that you want, you are still experiencing a lot of energetic disturbances. You know, by the time you have this child, it will be like a tincture. It will be like that cure that you didn't even know that you needed. That's so beautiful, actually, Pal 3. Okay. Stand up to the elements. And then one more. Okay. Euphoria and insight. Oh my God, yes. You having this relationship with your child is actually going to be very euphoric. I'm hearing that you and your child are going to be having a lot of play dates, a lot of ice cream together. Okay. Some of y'all, there's a lot of fear and anxiety around becoming a mother, because some of you just, I don't know, something about you worried about losing your it girl status. Okay. You worried about, you know, becoming dull and conventional and growing old, and you becoming, you know, a mom, you know, because I'm hearing something about you really do not want to be driving a van. Okay, it's not happening. That's not happening. Okay. You know, you just afraid of losing this aesthetic, right? You know, this bad bitch aesthetic, this it girl, you afraid of losing your freedom, right? But I also feel like this is going to cure so much resentment, right? And you're going to like stand up to these like anxious, I'm hearing, especially if you're dealing with fear and anxiety, I immediately, well, it kind of feels like for me, the air element, especially some of you guys are dealing with racing thoughts. You're dealing with, you know, a disturbed mind, okay? Somebody here, you know, I'm hearing some of you already know your the father of your child, or you already know, you know, who you're going to be putting down this type of relationship with. This person is up at night worried about you because they know that you are the mother of their child. Somebody. This person, they know that you're the mother of their child, and they're just like, please. You guys are overcoming this adversity together, okay? But let's get from, you know, this unique deck that I have, okay? Self-care is an act of political warfare. What? Self-care. People hate to see you taking care of yourself, pal. People hate to see you taking care of yourself, pal 3. It's like, you know that, you know, you're like, some of you guys have been struggling with taking care of yourself. I don't know. That's why I just kept looking at her back. Like, it's something about your back. Some of you, you're struggling with maintaining your self-care. And you will find, I'm getting that this is the cure. The child is the cure. You're like, I need to be well. I need to take care of myself for my child. Okay? This relationship with your child is going to be so beautiful, and it's going to be euphoric. It's going to give you so much insight, especially as you watch them grow older. You watch their childhood development. You watch their, like, you know, children, they have this unique, like, awareness. Like, even if they can't, like, articulate it like an adult would, children are very smart and they have no filter whatsoever. And they're going to give you so much, like, insight around, you know, your own childhood development, and it's going to just like nurture your inner child so much. And it's like taking care of your child, like showing your child how to like take care of themselves through the way that you take care of yourself is going to be like the cure to your self-care problem. Some of you guys quite literally struggle with maintaining your self-care. You fall off of your routine often, and it's because of so much adversity that you may be dealing with, maybe because of a challenge that you're dealing with, right? But you're going to understand that this child, and making sure that that child has a liberated, you know, is set up for success, is going to be like an act of political warfare. It's like your self-care. Some of you guys have a lot of resentment around this, like people who, like, difficulties and adversities you have faced because people have actually hate to see you. I don't know how this relates to you being a mother, but we're going to get into it. But it kind of feels like you have been dealing with a lot of like adversaries that have been, you know, related to your struggle. And I think that this is because so many people actually don't want to see you be a mother. They hate to see you as the supreme feminine. They hate to see you as divine feminine. They hate to see you nurturing. They hate to see you unconditionally loving. Especially if you remember from the last pick a card, some of you guys, people have been realizing about you that you have, like, family means a lot to you, and that your home life and spending time with your family is like the thing that you value the most. So a lot of people, like, you're learning, like, as a mother, to be fiercely protective of your kin, to be fiercely protective of your child, to be fiercely protective of your husband and father of your child. Because a lot of this is like a spiritual warfare. These people have been so impacting your mood and motivation, and you are going to, like, I don't know, showing your child how to take care of themselves, like nurturing their small body, right? And I used to talk about this a lot on the channel a while ago, but through the 4th house, right, it rules our relationship with our mother and how you feel in your physical body. Your mother carries you in the womb and is your first sense of nurturing and helping you feel safe on this planet, helping you feel safe in the physical world, right? Some of you guys have had such a challenging life. You've struggled to feel safe. You've struggled to feel secure. Having a child is actually going to force you to be secure, right? And I feel that you're going to, I'm hearing something about, you know, making sure their hair care is nice. You know, I'm hearing, especially if you have a daughter, I'm hearing they're going to be draping long, y'all. If you have a daughter, y'all, the hair is going to be draping so long, everybody going to be mad. Like, people will hate to see your daughter's hair. They'll hate to see your child's hair. Even if they're a boy, they're going to hate to see their hair, because so many people, especially if you're having an interracial child, some of these people, they hate to see they hate to see you becoming a mother. This is why people have been attacking your form, your physical body, because it represents, it's highly desired for sex. It's highly, it's the childbearing hips. It's the big bum. It's the busty, set of double D's or somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like your body is like, and taking care of that body sets, like, makes you attracting to like the best partner. It helps you mate and reproduce in the best way that you can, right? And this self-care, like, you're going to master your self-care. You're going to master your child's self-care, because you're going to make sure that their form is not attacked in the way that your form has been attacked. Some of you guys have struggled with domestic abusers. People, men who have attacked your feminine body. You've struggled with men who have exploited your goddess form. Men who have exploited your form by giving you a STD. People who have been so disrespectful of you, right? Feminines that have fought you, aggressive, pulled your hair out, put scratches on you, right? This is the cure. This difficulty, these adversities, something about you, fear and anxiety is manifesting in your form, right? Stand up to the elements. Stand up to the fear. Your physical body is meant to carry this child so that they can feel safe in the ways that you never had, so that they can have the nurturance and, and all of their, like, all of their care. They will have enough care. They will not be, some of you guys come from poverty. You haven't had enough resources. I'm hearing a lot of period poverty, a lot of hygiene, feminine hygiene poverty. You've had to, you stood up to so much, and your self-care was an act of political warfare. Your self-care was a divine responsibility. This was your intentional use of non-military means. You have been so diplomatic, providing so much information, cyber and economic tools to influence this opposition. A lot of these people's attack on your form, especially, they will hate to see you pregnant. They will hate to see you, a man, putting a baby in you. They will hate to see your home and how nurturing, sensitive, and caring it is, because you have been in so many environments that have been so covert, is even covert in their hatred, in their opposition, making you feel, threatened and anxious, making you feel, fear and anxiety. Your self-care is a strategic objective. Taking care of yourself, your partner is going to get you fully liberated and extremely happy. Some of them, they already know you, and they know that you're overcoming an adversity. And they're like, keep doing your self-care. You are the mother of my child. Keep taking care of that physical body, because you're going to have my child. Especially if they see y'all with an interracial baby, it's going to make them hoes sick. It's going to make them sick. Because some of them, they're so obsessed with your hair type and your skin color and the curve in your hips, right? And then you have a beautiful baby girl that looks just like you, or a beautiful son that mimics your beautiful husband, or your husband's brilliant mind, and how they have a beautiful mind too, and how they love you, and how your spirit's aligned in this home. They're going to hate to see your children, especially you as a mother having a daughter. They're going to hate to see your daughter have beautiful long hair. They're going to hate to see your daughter's face on you, like literally your face. They're going to hate to see your face duplicated. Like, they're going to hate to see your face duplicated. And your son is going to grow up and be a mogul like his father, is going to be a good man, a provider, stable, highly successful, wealth. Your self-care is the cure. Your self-care is going to get you to that happy and safe family that you desire so much, deeply desire. Even if you're scared of having it, it's meant for you if that's what you want. Some of you guys have been going to war against the opposition, because the opposition, what this has really been about, the root of the matter, has been about your beauty. Your beauty and how it leads you to a good partner, and you guys have security, wealth, and possessions. Your long hair, your beautiful smile, your good set of teeth, your curvy body, that reproduced is going to make them sick. They hate to see you exist. And then you're gonna make another one of you? Not okay. Oh my God, all this adversity and difficulty. I'm hearing something about you. They're seeing, like, especially something people have been so Paige. Somebody's name is Anna or Aaliyah. These people are Sage. They have been so obsessed with your hair and your hair type and how it frames your face and how curly it is and how it bounces. How you take care of yourself. People are obsessed with that. And like all this, like these people have been attacking your form and have been like literally some of them violently attacking you because they're so obsessed with your body. If like you being that divine feminine, you being that feminine that is super desired that everybody wants, they have been trying to attack this. I'm hearing, especially if you dealt with like childhood bullies or people jumping on you in a fight, they have known that you were beautiful and they were weaker and less fortunate and ugly, and they were not, like, nobody wants them, and they hated the fact that you're able to like move through social classes, even some of you, and meet this high value partner. Reproducing that is crazy work, Power 3. You're going, like this, becoming a mother, you're going to find you're not going to neglect your health and self-care because you know you have to be there for somebody else. Remembering what you went through in your childhood, remembering your bullies, remembering the traumatizing experience, remember your family violence. That is going to give you the deep perspective. That's going to give you the duty, the sense of obligation to take care of yourself. Y'all, you and your child's self-care is an act of political warfare because these people have been obstructing your individual rights and your liberties because they hated your body and how beautiful you are. You reproducing is an act of political warfare. Your body being in an optimal state of health, giving childbirth is also crazy work. Some of you guys, the way you're going to have a child, you're going to have a natural birth, or you're going to do something very beautiful. Like your birth, your child, your pregnancy and your childbirth process, everything is going to be like you standing up to all of this opposition. You guys create, like your reproduction, your procreating is actually going to be like, your child is going to represent a political composition. I don't even know. Like your child is going to, especially if this is an interracial relationship, is going to represent like two opposing forces coming together. Especially like if there has been, like, some of you guys have been in your country, there has been an opposing culture, or there's been, a racial divide, and you guys coming together, something where you met this person when you were 26 years old or 27 years old, and it is like you guys coming together will show unity, harmony in like a political composition where previously like people hate, like from your racial group perhaps, like they're not known for standing up, they're not known for blossoming and having a beautiful home life, they're not known for having self-care. You having that is going to be like, it's like taking a stance. Like your home is like the Puritans on a hill. Like your family, the way that y'all so pure and y'all love for one another, oh my God, like they gonna hate to see it, baby, especially because you come from this scarce racial group. This is the issue. This is what you're going to learn from being a mother. Your child is literally going to be like a prodigy, or is going to be like it's not going to, I don't feel like this is going to be an unplanned pregnancy. You and this person having a child together, whoever this is going to be a brilliant child, for one. And you guys coming together, aligning your souls and being so different on the outside, your child coming together, you're gonna be like, look at that child. That child is like, look at those two different parents together. It's literally an act of political warfare. Literally. That is so beautiful, Powell 3. What is motherhood going to teach you, right? How to resolve conflicts peacefully, right? You can't hold on to resentment. Look forward in a positive future because you need to. You have to for this beautiful child. Moving beyond those karmic challenges, all those, I'm hearing the constant adversity, a karmic challenge with somebody, women who become obsessed with you, who want to attack you, use violence, aggression, fight you, become obsessed with your body. And it makes you feel so anxious and fearful because you know that it's literally just about your body and your hair and your beauty, right? That's so scary. that your racial group is so, I don't know, so scarce, that they body typing so bad, looking at your breasts, your hips, your hair, your skin color. This is so weird and strange and scary to like come into these revelations, and it impacts your mood and motivation so much you don't even want to like move or like exist. That's what I'm getting, Pile 3. That is actually beautiful. You're going to be looking forward to a positive future with your child, okay? Especially their political composition, especially interracial relation. I don't know who they going to be, honey. They're going to fuck them up real good. They're going to be like, oh no. Because some of them, they such a colorist. Like some of y'all, this is not because you're attracted to, like some people, they go and do interracial things because they're colorist, because they are, you know, they have self-hatred for their racial group. But some of you guys are moving out of your racial group because of how scarce it is, and because of how much, you know, adversity and difficulties you've had with, you know, people in your racial group, and moving towards someone who accepts you and loves you despite your adversities. You know, it's like Tina Turner. What I mean here, didn't Tina Turner go marry a white man or something like that? Like, you're like, I can't keep going on with Ike and them. I ain't going on. Ike and them gotta go. All they want to do is fight you for having self-care. It's like, what? Like, you sound like a crazy weirdo. But it really just represents their scarcity trauma and them not having, you know, self-care, and them not having, you know, a nice life or happiness, right? So, you know, you're going to cure that with your partner, because they're coming in with a different approach to life, a different walk of life, a different gene pool, a different DNA, right? And they're gonna come and heal you and make this child, and y'all gonna be so damn happy together. It's gonna be crazy. And that, you know, your parents, you're gonna be beautiful parents. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. Audrey Lorde, self-care. Okay, to wrap, let's go ahead and get your message. Self-care is an act of political warfare. Prioritize your needs and tend to your pain. Self-care is not an indulgence. It is a necessary means of survival. Social expectations of happiness cover over individual discontentment. There is plenty to be angry and fearful about if you live in a world that challenges your very right to survival. These people have been challenging your very right to survival because of your body, literally causing trauma. Naming and expressing your trauma is a radical act of self-care. Disrupt and disturb the quiet that silences your struggles and renders you invisible. Don't worry about ruining the mood by pointing out injustices, and don't let others dismiss your struggle. Your anger is rich with information. Guard against those who try to invalidate it by calling it rage. Your silence will not protect you. Translate your fear and anger into clarity and understanding by expressing them. Use your anguish to find or form communities that share your struggles. Together with others, you can experience recognition, relief, and healing. Ask for support and fiercely love those who share your resilience and passion for growth. Examine your own fear of difference. To take care of others, you must first take care of yourself. Create a wellness plan and recognize that those who protect your growth are all you need. This is Lord's message to you. I feel like this is what you're curing with this child. Having a wellness plan, having someone who protects your care. Your husband and your father of your child is going to protect your care, give you relief and healing, right? Your communities, you will build a community where you share struggles and help each other and share resilience and passion for growth. Some of you guys, this is my crown chakra is tingling so much, because especially these people who hated you for your body existing and challenging your very right to survival. Like I was saying, this is your liberty and your individual rights to survive and to take care of yourself. Don't let these people dismiss you. Don't let these people, don't care. Like, yeah, you may have ruined the mood when you called out this person's blatant injustice, right? Call out their injustices. Don't let them dismiss your struggle. Your silence will not protect you. Call it out. Protect yourself by using your voice, by speaking your truth. What you are revealing is everyone's individual discontentment. Everybody been expecting people to be happy and be okay. But really, these people have been hating you and challenging your right to survival, and it traumatizing you, causing you adversities and struggles because they hated the fact that you was trying to care for yourself, and how that would lead to a better life, and how it would make your hair grow, how it will heal your physical body, right? Prioritize your needs and tend to your own pain. Your self-care is not an indulgence. It is a necessary means of survival. I love you so much. Thank you so much, Power 3. That was beautiful. And I will see y'all in the next one. Thank you. And again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and children at Felicia Nutrice Tarot from Divas Can Manifest org. I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Power 4. Last but not least, you chose the Kiss and Lipstick Divas Can Manifest motif. Okay, so let's see what your question is. What have I inherited from my ancestral line? Mother, grandmother, great-grand. Okay. Let's see. I'm actually going to pull some archetypes to start. Okay, what have you inherited from your ancestral line? Okay, so I definitely feel like, the feminists have been very, a little scarce here. But I will say that you have beautiful women in your family, okay? Something about your hair, okay? Hair has been very beautiful, thick, long hair, curly hair, okay? Something like that. Your family, you look down the line of the family, you guys have had beautiful hair, okay? Thick, full edges, a nice curl pattern, okay? So let's see, what have you inherited? Yes, okay, victimization, the victimized, unhealed feminine energy, okay, angel. And we have the magical child, okay. Now, this is actually really beautiful. So I feel like you guys have, how in these images, like, you see how in every image, the feminine is kind of like very covered, and, their arms are across their body, and, like this body language says a lot to, like, it says a lot, it speaks a lot. So a lot of what I'm seeing is a lot of victimization, okay, a lot of distressed and uncomfortable. I feel like you have definitely inherited body image issues, from your family, not feeling, secure in the earth realm, not having a physical security, not feeling safe in the body, okay? But I am getting how this beautiful hair, okay? Something where somebody's wearing a bang, okay? Somebody here has long dark hair, or a bang looking like Katy Perry, very beautiful. Somebody's name starts with the letter N. I'm getting that, like, your family, the women in your family, what you have inherited is, an inability to maintain your personal boundaries. And you may have already been aware of this because, especially as this victim, the shadow aspect, playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. Now, I think the reason why you guys are feeling so victimized in your lineage is because you do come from a long line of angels. The women in your family are very angelic. I'm always sensing a lot of helping out the elderly, helping out the disabled, helping, people without any expectation of, need or any expectation of return. And it feels like you always get, you get trapped in these karmic cycles. This is an ancestral patterning where you guys give so much. You will see your family be taking the clothes off of their back to help other people in need. Okay? Especially if you guys, even some of you have scarcity. You guys come from poverty or haven't had much. So I just see you guys as like a long line of hustlers, a long line of hardworking women as well. But it's like you work so hard to help other people, but they never reciprocate. It feels like you end up feeling like the victim, or you feel like you're the one that never gets anything, in return. You're always given the short end of the stick. You're always the one left without. You are learning that not everybody has the same heart as you. You help those without, in need, without any expectation of return, but they also do something to exploit you. It's like it's even more of a slap in the face because you help this person, like you'll like help someone so much, right? Give them the shirt off your back, give them your money, give them your clothes, right? And then they do something to like shame you, hurt you, betray you, and you're left feeling like a victim. Okay? So I'm also getting that something that you've inherited from the women in your family is depression, okay, mood disorders, mental health issues, pessimism, depression, okay, disbelief in miracles, not taking energy and action required for growth, okay. I'm also getting something about a religion as well. There's a strong, like like especially as this angel, something about there's something in your family that is very, you guys are very religious, very pious, and you're like angels. I don't ever see you. I see you guys as a saint. And you have like inherited this from your family. You learn how to be a saint. You never, like your mother and grandmother and great grand, you never seen them do anything, you know, with an ill will. You never seen them, you know, with any kind of expectations and senses of entitlement, right? You come from angelic feminines, right? But something about this over excessive need to help other people is also your own codependencies, where you won't even, like, you'll help other people before you even help yourself, okay? Believing that energy and action are not required for growth. Disbelief in miracles, pessimism and depression. That same energy and that same action and belief, you know, you being a miracle for somebody else, you being, you know, positive and optimistic for somebody else, apply that same kind of pressure. Keep that same energy for yourself. You're learning how to put yourself forward first. Suffering will not make you more appreciated with this angel energy. It's even to the point where you help people so much or you give so much, it actually exploits your boundaries. It actually does more harm than it's intended to. Okay? Don't help somebody so much. Like, you know, don't start, you know that you have a boundary around letting somebody in your house. You know you have a boundary about letting somebody know where you live. You know that, you have this standard of a friendship. You have this standard of a relationship. You will know, like, you inherited these poor boundaries. You inherited not holding yourself to those standards. Some of you guys have even been dealing with people who have been acting innocent. They've been acting angelic. They've been acting to be in touch with angelic guidance. These people have been doing this to mislead you and to mislead others. And some of them have been playing the victim, for your positive feedback so that they can evade your personal boundaries. Okay? Some of these people have come in, like I said, they've been to mislead you or have some type of ulterior motive. Okay? So you have been left a victim in a lot of situations. You have been left the one feeling injured, harmed, or wronged because you have been a saint. You have been helping them in need without any expectations. And then to find out that they did something negative, disrespectful, exploiting, it was like, what? You're like, okay. Especially if you're here from Power 1, you guys are learning, the power of your choices and actions. Your choices determine how brightly you shine. Some of you guys, you come from a line of feminines who didn't believe in miracles, that didn't put any energy and action in for their growth because they didn't believe that they could shine, right? They didn't feel worthy of shining, especially if they've been dealing with body image issues, right? Something about shoulders and feeling big within their back or something like that. Okay, some of you guys have been healing, your physical vessels. Some of this is trauma. Some of this is processed food. Some of this is literally a systemic failure of obesity. Some of you guys have learned how to be wallflower. You've been the wallflower because, you've dealt with, your feminines in your family have been wallflowers. They've been pessimistic and depressed, not taking energy and action. But some of you guys are breaking those ancestral patterns, okay? You know that suffering and, dimming your light is not going to make you more appreciated, okay? Power 4, what have you inherited from your family? We have Beauty or Beast. That kind of goes hand in hand with the magical child archetype as well. It's like now that you're breaking these ancestral patterns, you're seeing the sacred beauty in all things. You're starting to believe that anything is possible. Situations where you were once left a victim, no one can fathom, some of y'all, no one can fathom what you have created. No one can fathom God's plan. No one can fathom how God has made all these struggles and challenges and adversities and places where you could have been left a victim. How you've turned those around and made them your success story. How you've turned those around and transformed those base motivations. How you've overcome these adversities, right? How you started to believe in yourself. How you started to take, action and apply and direct your energy and your thoughts to healing, okay? What have you inherited from your family of feminines? A natural touch, okay, yes. And then ancestry and family, of course, coming out. Oh, all those cards are so ancestral, okay? So I'm getting that some of you guys, your family, you guys have inherited a natural body. We have goddess Ishtar and fertility. I'm also getting that some of y'all, you're inheriting a lot of children, okay? You're having a lot of children, a big family, okay? And it's known, the women in your family are known for having a lot of children or you being very fertile as well. But goddess Ishtar is the goddess of warfare. So some of you guys, you have learned, you've had a natural touch in this warfare, especially if you guys are here from Power 3. Some of you guys have been in a non-violent warfare. You've been at your self-care and your freedom of speech and you emphasizing your individual rights and liberties have been the act of political warfare. You have been going to war with these people who have been exploiting your personal boundaries, but also learning how you have been unable to maintain your boundaries. This getting exploited, getting harmed, getting injured, empowering yourself and not letting yourself be a victim. Not looking for pity. Not letting yourself suffer. Learning how to care for yourself. Learning how to feel good in your physical body, especially with this natural touch. Some of you guys, you have a natural body, a natural touch, you just look, even if you have plastic, you look natural, you're beautifully, your beautiful natural hair, beautiful natural skin, beautiful as a natural, okay? This is what you're inheriting from the women in your family. Especially if you've gone on a process of healing your body and returning it to a whole state, returning it to optimal health, returning your body from obesity. Men, I'm hearing these, people, your partners love to snuggle up with you because of your body is so pleasing and comfortable, okay? So you're definitely inheriting a beautiful family, friends. And I think that is actually really beautiful, okay? From the Philosopher's deck, what are you inheriting from your family, okay? I'm getting the biggest challenges, more negative aspects. There's definitely that personal boundaries, situations where you felt, victimized, hurt, wronged, and, left a victim when you were just an angel. You were a saint. You were helping those in need without any expectations of return. And somebody, I'm getting that you can see, you can struggle with this, feel victimized with this beauty or beast, or you can see the beauty in this thing, right? Power 4. What are you inheriting from your family? Impermanent. Some of you guys have been homeless, okay, without a home, or you have been dealing like something where, something was taken from you, or you learned the impermanence of something. I'm getting some of you guys even grew your enlightenment through homelessness. I'm hearing, you grew your impermanence you grew your enlightenment through being homeless, or you started to feel you had to learn how to be at home within yourself, after not having it. Some of you guys, there's a lot of issues around the home that you've inherited from your family, okay? I'm getting, especially if there's been a sister, I'm hearing that there has been a sister or a family member who was angry at you for having beauty and a beautiful home, and they have been the reason why you've been homeless, or they've been, the reason why you have been struggling with some type of adversity. And this person is because they have been exploiting your boundaries. You've had to discern the 4th house, and you've had to learn, the transcendent nature of this, because this person, something where they have, I don't know if they just like, you had an inner knowing around them, okay, that they were beast-like and that they were ruthless and, you know, never happy and never full, something where they're obese or they're always eating so much. This person exploited your boundaries and caused an adversity in your life, okay? I'm also getting that, you know, you may have inherited some poor eating habits with these people, okay? But you have been feeling at home within the self. Some of you guys, you've watched the feminists in your family move around a lot, them never having a home that they loved, them never having created a reality that they desired through the empowered feminine. So to say the least, the feminists in your family have been unhappy and unhealed, okay? Impermanence. Homeless, one is ever at home. Egoless, one is ever full. The Buddha teaches about suffering and how to end it. Suffering comes from grasping onto transient things within the ever-changing cycles of life and death. Impermanence, change, and instability are the hallmarks of the human condition. Arrive at the deeper understanding of the true nature of existence by embracing the wisdom of non-attachment. Observe the movement of your thoughts, feelings, hopes, and fears, and ask yourself, what patterns do they follow? These patterns are born of your habits. Do not cling to them. Let your thoughts and feelings come and go with the situations that give rise to them. If you grab onto nothing, there will be nothing to lose. Empty yourself of ego and all of its cravings. Free yourself from the bondage of self-absorption. Suffering ceases when the illusion of the self that suffers is no more. Your thoughts and actions are conditioned by your previous thoughts and actions, and go on to shape your future thoughts and actions. This is the law of karma. Create positive karma by clearing your mind of negative thoughts and acting in the world with kindness. Live in the present and experience yourself as the wind, blowing freely through life while providing air for others to breathe. Replace selfish desire and attachment with compassion to arrive at the state of wakefulness called nirvana. This is Buddha's message to you. Some of you guys have inherited attachment issues, clinging, ego-driven behaviors, refusing to acknowledge the impermanence, resisting change, selfish greed, desires, lacking self-satisfaction, lacking compassion, okay? Or you've been dealing with this, right? You've been a victim of people who have been ego-driven, people who have been greedy, right? Their selfish greed and desires, people who have been only looking for their self-absorption and their self-satisfaction, right? And you have been an angel, right? So out in the world acting with kindness. So it feels like, you know, you maybe even dealing with homelessness, right? You're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that I was left such a victim. But you are the one that's ever at home. And the ego one is never full, right? They're the ones that lack compassion. This ancestral inheritance is definitely karmic, okay? And it's the illusion of permanence. It's your attachment issues that are being highlighted. Some of you guys have been learning, breaking an ancestral pattern of attachment and resisting change, right? You're learning, you know, when to let go. You're learning how to cease the suffering. You're learning how to, you know, not have any expectations, right? You're learning about your patterns and habits related to your thoughts and feelings, right? Some of you guys, especially if you had, you know, women who have been struggling with pessimism, depression, and disbelief, right? You inherited this. You inherited the mood disorder. You inherited the mental health issue. You learn not to attach. When you learn not to have those expectations, suddenly the suffering ceased. I love that for you. Let's rock pile 3. Excuse me, pile 4. You're learning about your choices and how they determine how brightly you shine, right? Make good decisions, right? Make decisions that prevent you from feeling like a victim. Make decisions that uphold your personal boundaries so you won't ever get exploited again. Okay? So it was the expectation of their loyalty, especially if this was a sister or a family. It was the expectation of their loyalty. It was the expectation of their commitment, of their family. It was the expectation, right, that they were kind. It was the expectation that they were innocent and angelic. But they have been doing this to mislead you, okay? Because they've been ultimately struggling with deep insecurity, right? 7 of Cups. Now you're feeling like you wasted a lot of time, right? You're very secure now, and I feel like a lot of you guys, after maybe even being homeless, you gained your enlightenment, okay? You are the enlightened one. You are Buddha in this biatch, okay? Some of you guys visited India, or from India, and you've immigrated to another country. Some of you guys have been struggling. You've been in another country and you've been struggling with homelessness in that country, or you've immigrated to it. You moved to a different city or state, and you've been struggling with homelessness in these places, okay? But some of you guys, you have been left feeling like the victim from, making poor investments, making poor decisions, right? Your choices determined this. Your thoughts and feelings determined this, right? This low self-esteem, this illusion of support, this illusion of family, right? It was these expectations with the 7 of Cups, where these people were falsely in touch with you. They were falsely innocent, falsely angelic. Struggling with deep insecurity around you, and you were not able to maintain your personal boundaries, and this led to bad investments, and those investments didn't pay off. They led to waste, they led to harm, they led to injury, they led to hurt, okay? These poor decision making and these lack of, you're not upholding your personal boundaries. It's not always a conscious choice that you're doing it, that you're not doing it, but it is a choice nonetheless, okay? You've gone through with Goddess Ishtar, you've gone to war with these people who you invested in poorly, invested your information, gave them your, let them invading your personal boundaries, letting them in your home, letting them in your space, giving them, insights into your dreams, giving them, expecting, forming emotional attachments. These were all waste, right? Because while you've been struggling with your own pessimism and depression, these people have been super insecure and super, ego driven when it came to you, okay? The Strength card always points to the power dynamics of relationships. You've inherited these power dynamics from the women in your family. Often taking a back seat, often the one feeling victimized, often the one, dimming your light. You're learning to be empowered. You're learning to stand in your truth. You're learning to make decisions that bring you the most amount of happiness. You're learning how to make rational decisions for yourself. Sometimes we can't see the duplicity. Sometimes we can't discern it. Sometimes it's a new and emotional experience. Somebody's name, starts with the letter G. And you're filled with expectations around them, okay? Not having discernment and the expectations caused the suffering. Then you learned it was a waste of time. And you learn, and you learn. With every goodbye, you learn, okay? I hope that made sense, Pile 4. Let's get a few Kipper cards so we can wrap, okay? What are you inheriting from your feminines? Yeah, just a brief illness. You're not a victim. It was just brief, right? Not, flowing with change now, okay? Being homeless. Some of you guys You know, with the mice, I mean, some of you guys, like I said, I always think about Mexican immigrants crawling through the tunnels with the mice, okay? Leaving behind another country to find more freedom. Leaving behind a home, leaving behind securities, and learning non-attachment, okay? You're on the path to receiving high honors. You're in your economic power. This is the ancestry. This is the family. This is the success and fortune. You are at home. You are never alone, okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know how that resonates. And I just want to say again, happy Mother's Day to all the women and children at Felicia and Latrice Tarot from Divas Can Manifest organization. I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next one.